guys, welcome to my channel, All Things GarageBand. I'm Jeremy Hawes. In this video, I'm going to show you guys how to use GarageBand's amp simulator. Okay, amp simulator is sick. It's like I had a video showing you guys how to use the presets, like the preset guitar tones, like clean, crunch, and distortion, all the different ones that are already made for you with GarageBand. Now I'm going to show you guys how to basically customize your own amp head, your own speaker cabinet and microphone. It's pretty sick. You can actually pick any amp head you want. You can pick anyone they have, anyone in the menu, and any cabinet that's there. And also you can pick from several different microphones, and you can place the microphone where you want and what size speaker you want. It's pretty sick. So yeah, you can really fine tune your sound that way, and it's just a lot of fun. And so anyways, let's get started. Woo! Alright guys, if you guys want to follow along, I'm going to open up GarageBand here to a project. I laid down some tracks for this actual video, and I think for the preset video too I did this for, maybe. Anyways, so yeah, it's just a song that I've already recorded and released called the Butte County Boys, from Butte County, Chico, Paradise, that area. Left there when the fire hit. But yeah, so anyways, so it's called Butte County Boys. But yeah, so let me give you an idea real quick. What I've done so far is, this is how I first, just in case you don't know how to set up the guitar for customizing your own like amp designer and stuff like that. The way I laid down these tracks, let me just play a real quick clip of no, first off, my bad. Let's go ahead and show you. Okay, so instead of going through this one right here, a guitar or bass like we did for the presets, for the preset sounds, that's when you plug straight in your audio interface with the guitar, bass, or whatever microphone, or actually guitar, bass for this one. Okay, so it's the levels are already set for you and everything, but you're using preset sounds. But if you want to customize your own, you're going to go ahead and go through microline here, and you're still going to plug straight in your audio interface. Same way, you just make sure on your audio interface, whenever you plug straight in with your guitar or bass, it's switched over to instrument, not on microline, like it says here. Don't get fooled. I used to get fooled by microline on my audio interface. You always do instrument if you're going straight in with your guitar or bass. Okay, so but here we're going to pick microline because we're going to set up our own sound and levels and all that. And so, anyways. Okay, so right now we're input 1. It depends what input you're going through on your audio interface, but hit create, and that's basically how I got these two tracks here. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this since I just already have them. Okay, so what I did then is I laid down guitar track here. So I laid down this is going to be the cleaner, crunchish, cleanish sound, I should say, for the song, and then I laid down another part where I'm going to do distortion to it. But first, all I did is I laid down just dry tracks, direct tracks, clean tracks, nothing on it. It's just the plain, just the signal, the sound of the signal. So now I can go and actually add my own amp sim to it. Pretty sick. So let me give you an idea what it sounds like without. Let me turn that. What it sounds like without anything added to it yet. Okay, just the signal itself. Not perfect, but you get the idea. Let me put on the recycle here. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and show you where you go to actually how you put the plugins in order and that kind of stuff, where you do that to add your amp sim, and then we'll go from there, changing the amp sim to different clean sounds for this track here. Okay, so next, instead of going here like we usually would for preset sounds, electric guitar and bass, we're going to go down and we're going to go to we'll keep it on track. Make sure it's on track here, right there. Okay, that says track, and that we're on that. Sorry, that this one's lit up. The track that you're trying to get the amp sim for, make sure it's lit up. I wasn't lit up there. Okay, and then track down here. Then we're going to go down to plugins here, and we're going to left click on this little arrow so it pops that down. Okay, these are your plugins here. This is where, like, when you do use preset sounds, they'll have the amp sim and the pedals if they're using pedals and other effects on there. And like right now, there's always an EQ and a compressor. Compressor's always turned off, so we're not going to worry about that stuff right now. The channel EQ, we'll just leave it at the top here, okay? But we're going to go down to this little arrows, these little arrows right here, and we're going to left click on there. and then we're going to go over to amp sims and pedals, and we're going to pick amps designer, just plain amp designer right there. We're going to left click on that bad boy right there. Okay, now it might pop up like this. Okay, in another video when I was showing you guys about the MV Meter 2, I totally forgot to tell you guys about this part because I forgot that they do this. GarageBand throws you off this way. Instead of showing you the actual MV Meter 2 or the amp sim, like the amp head and the cabinet like it should, it shows you this part of it. It shows you the broke down part or whatever, that, you know, without the guy. So let's go over here and without the picture of the guy. Okay, so what we're gonna do to change this so you can pop up the MV Meter 2 or the amp sim or your pedals or whatever and see them actually, is we're gonna go over to settings. We're gonna go to up to GarageBand here. We're gonna go down to settings, not the system settings for your Mac, but settings for GarageBand. We're gonna go over to where are we? Let's go right here. Right down here, we're gonna go audio. Wait. No, my bad. We're gonna go on general. Okay. I thought so. Go down to accessibilities, and we're gonna uncheck open plugins and controls by default. Okay. Uncheck that, and this is what you'll get. You'll be able to see now that MV Meter 2 I was talking about, the VU meter, and in all your amp sims and all that great stuff, your pedal boards, all that stuff. Okay. So remember, again, you go to settings in the GarageBand and you go and turn off this bad boy, okay? Because it's always turned on. I don't know why they have it turned on. It's really hard to find. There's no like really good instructions showing you how to do that. You kind of come across it by accident by flipping on and off stuff, which is not always a good idea. Okay, so this is the first default preset, and they are presets here, but you can fine tune it. They're still presets. They're still amps. They set up the amps and the cabinet over here in the microphone. Okay, so before I go in, we change up and go through all the different presets and then customize them from there, the amp heads and all that, and change everything, show you how to do that. Let me just explain what this window does here. Okay, first, obviously this is your amp head. And there's several different types of amp heads. You know, this one's for the clean, and there's several different clean ones. You know, they emulate different amp heads like Fender, Mesa Boogie, like Rectifier. I'm talking about distortion ones too. Marshall, all kinds of stuff. Okay, it gets deep. So it gets deep in it. So, and over here is your cabinets, and there's several different cabinets you can choose from, and I'll show you guys that in just a second. And then also your microphone, okay? And what this is, when you touch this with your mouse, this thing pops up. This is where your mic placement is to your speaker, okay? Where you're gonna have it in front, down the middle of the cone, far away from the middle of the cone, over to the right side of the cone, that kind of thing, okay? And that will change up your sound, so will your microphone and stuff like that, okay? So I'm going to show you the default or the different presets. You can get to the presets here, and they have a lot more in this thing that they do over when you go to electric guitar and bass presets, I believe. So, but then you can fine tune it from there. You can customize your own sounds. So for under clean, which we're looking for right now, you got all these different ones down here, okay? And so let me just like switch it up so you can see, it looks like a Marshall kind of, you know. And then but it pairs you when you do this. It will pair your the sound to get rid of the sound. Will pair you with a cabinet and a speaker. Let me try to show you another one. It should pair you with a different speaker. Let's keep moving. Maybe for clean, it's going to keep you on. No, see, it does change it up. It depends on the sound you're looking for. Okay. So you can just do this, and you can change. Like I said, you can move your microphone around. Okay, so that's your preset sounds, though. Okay. Next is, okay, this is customized. This is like, you could still look for sounds under here, customize your own sounds, and go from there. But also, okay, this is where you really can customize your stuff, okay? So we're looking for a clean, like a clean sound. So I'm going to go look for like a mini tweed. That'll work. Okay, so we're in clean still. And then now over here is where you can actually change just the amp head, just the cabinet, and just the microphone. Okay, so as you can see, I can go and change this, and it'll keep everything else the same. Let me get a different color here and get an idea. See the different, you get all the different clean amps, or you can still turn up the gain and get a little crunch in there. But anyways, and then over here, the cabinet, you can change it up to whatever cabinet you want. You know, brown, 115, 112. You can go for 412s, a brown cabinet, or a American you know, stack, that kind of sound, 412s. Okay, cool. And then you can go over and change up your microphone. They have the SM57 Shure. They emulate the sound of the Shure SM57 microphone. I use that very often, and then I really like the Sennheiser 421. Did I say that right? Sennheiser 421. I did. Okay, right here. So see, it looks just like it, huh? Trippy, huh? So trip out. Pretty cool, man. Anyways, so now that I showed you that you can do that, this is just a clean. I'm trying to stay on clean here. We'll go. I just showed you a little, accidentally showed you a little distortion cap heads there, but we're gonna try to stay on clean. So I'm gonna go back and go find just clean stuff, and we're gonna go heavy clean. Ow. Okay, so let me hit play now. I'm gonna hit play, and hopefully you can hear me talking over this. You should be able to, but I'm gonna hit play, and then I'm gonna change up the stuff while it's playing, so you get the idea what you can do with it. Okay, and besides that, you can fine tune by the gain. It's got all the EQs here. You've got your reverbs, you've got everything else, vibrato, all that stuff. Okay, and presence and master. Okay, one other thing I do want to mention, this is kind of an important thing, is your output right here. This is your like main output. This isn't master, this is not your gain. These are not your volumes. It is a volume, but it's your signal output. So say you recorded at too quiet a volume when you laid down a track, and I believe this is a pretty quiet track, but say you did, okay? And it's just too quiet. Instead of just turning up the gain and getting it distorted, or turning up the master and it's still not loud enough, it just sounds, sometimes when you just turn up the volumes, it doesn't make it sound better. It doesn't turn up the volume, it just makes it sound bad sometimes. So you can actually go and turn up the output right here, but I suggest using the NV Meter 2 if you're going to be messing with the outputs and stuff. Okay, NV Meter 2, if you don't know what that is, I have a video on it showing you where to go download it, where to find it. It's free, third-party plugin, and it's because GarageBand does not come with a good level meter or VU meter, which is those little hands that do this and tell you if you're clipping your signal, if you're in the red. Basically, you do not want to clip your signal. Whatever you do, you're screwed. If you clipped it, recorded it, might as well start all over again. And it sucks because, especially if you send your stuff to someone else to mix and master your stuff, like if I get anything from someone else that's got a clip signal, I've got to say sorry, you got to redo that, and I got to send it back or toss it. And because you can't fix a clip signal. Okay, you can turn up too quiet guitar, not too quiet, but if it's a little quiet, you can work with the volume, the output, the signal. Okay, I know this is a little bit more advanced stuff, but so don't worry about this too much. I'm just throwing off what this kind of is. You don't really want to mess with this unless you're using NV Meter 2, because you don't want to actually naturally distort it anyways, because you can actually clip it as you're playing it, as you're laying down it's just, okay, I'm getting confused, but yeah, when you lay down a track, you don't want to clip the signal. So use that NV Meter 2. I have a video showing you how to get that for free and download it and where to install it. I did forget to tell you how to change it into this bad boy, like going up to this. So I did get some comments on that. I'm really sorry about that, guys. I will be making another video showing about the NV Meter 2 a little bit more in depth, because I only showed you the peak volume on it, not the RMS and all that stuff, and I need to. And I didn't show you guys how to change it. I forgot that GarageBand does that they do this crap to you. This is fucking stupid. I mean, come on. I mean, yeah, cool if that's what you're after, but like, I like to see what I'm looking. I like to touch it. Be. Anyway, so let's go. Let's go take that off right there. Okay, stupid GarageBand, stupid Apple. All right, no, I really love your free program. That's pretty sick. So, sorry, Apple. Okay, so let's go ahead and I'm going to hit play, and we're going to go ahead and mess with the different sounds. Okay, the different customized amps. Cool. That's heavy clean. Brown out clean, baby. Let's find something that'll sound good with this song. Let's go down here. I know there's another one I found in here I really liked. That's some sweet. Let me turn up the gain. No. Let's start that over. Okay, I'm gonna keep looking here, guys. Okay. That's what I'm looking for. That thick sound, okay? It's a little bit loud. Let me turn out. I shouldn't mess with that, actually. I just told you guys not to do that. See how it'll clip it if it's too loud? Let's turn it down here. That's where I should have turned it down from there. Okay, and then I can turn it down for the master. Okay, cool. So hold on. So now I'm gonna stop that. Now what I'm gonna do is now I've got an amp head and I like the setup. I'm gonna go mess with even though I like the sound right there. I'm gonna go mess with the cabinet and the microphone too to give you an idea what you can do. Okay, so let me hit play. Okay. Now we're gonna mess with the. So that was mixed. That when I was doing this, those are the preset sounds up here. They're already set, but then I can customize it by going to change the amp head if I want to whatever I want. I want to remember what this is. It's a British, vintage British head. Okay, so let's go mess with some other ones. Oh, there's orange cabinet, orange head also here. Then you're getting more into the metal down there. So let's go ahead and bring it back to modern British. I like that one. All right, cool. So now we're gonna mess with the cabinet a little bit. I'm gonna put some 412s in there, okay? Or 112. Let's try 112. Studio 112. No, let's do 412. Here. Yeah, I like that. Okay, now we're gonna go put a Sennheiser 421 in there. And now I'm gonna move the placement. How about a Shure SM57? One of my favorites. Sennheiser. Not much difference. You can really tell with metal and crunch when you change these up, okay? So, anyways. Cool, guys, get it? Yeah, awesome. I'm going to keep that where it is, okay? So now we are going to go put some distortion on the next track, okay? So let me mute this one. This will be the next part of the song. Let me turn that down. It sounds like I'm clipping. I've got it clipped. No, it's just a signal. Okay, cool. We're good. We're good. We're gold. Okay, so that's just the plain signal. That's a dry, clean track there. So now we're going to go in, we're going to go do the same thing we just did with that last track. Go down to the plugins. If you remember to go right here on your track and make sure it's lit up the track you want and go, because it's really easy to forget one of these and go, why isn't it working? Because believe me, I've spent many hours and days and months and years doing that kind of stuff. So it's real good to slow down and go backtrack and go, okay, why is this not, oh, okay. And then you'll realize you messed up some other track hella bad because you're just sitting there fiddling with it. Anyways, so we're going to go to plugin, left click, and go down to here, and we're going to go and grab us amp designer again, okay? So under amps and pedals, okay? Now I'm going to be looking for a metal sound, okay? There is crunch in here. Look at all the crunch you've got to go through, and distortion, okay? So I'm going to go down. They've got let's start with I believe it's what is it again? A Mesa Boogie. Somewhere in here. I know it's in here. I know we just saw it a second ago. It's going to be under like, why am I not seeing, well, let's try it. No, it's not going to be American. It's going to be under British. Or is there a B? British. Well, let's take a look. Oh, it is. Okay, Mace Boogie, sorry. Duh. Why would I think, sorry, British is, I got mixed up. The name's mixed up. Marshall. Okay, Marshall. I believe that's British. Yeah, it is. And but American is Mesa Boogie, so you're going to see that here. At least it's under American, so I believe it's an American company. Too saturated, too much. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and hit play, and we're gonna look around. I'm gonna go look at some British. Actually, while we're on. There we are, Marshall. That's what I was talking about in the first place. Okay, now I'm going to customize my sound. So we're down in customize. Oops, that's preamp. Okay, I like the... Not that. I'm gonna go back here to find that. There we go. Okay, cool. Now I'm gonna mess with this part. A little better. Let's try American. Modern American. See what an SM57 sounds like. Well, whatever. Alright, so it's only parts of the song. Okay, so you guys get the idea. Oh, let's mess around with the mic place. Oh, I just did. Hold on a second. A little bassy, but hey, you know. And unfortunately, GarageBand doesn't come with all the greatest distortion tones. You know, it comes with a lot of good ones, but it's just not. They're not like for metal. You know, they're just not like prog metal. There's not tight metal that some of us are looking for. So there's a lot of great third-party plugins, and I'll have another video showing where to go get those. You can download those and use them on GarageBand and Logic Pro. So, anyways. Pretty awesome, guys. You can just sit here and really lose yourself in it. I have. So, cool. Yeah. One other thing I wanted to say before we go here, guys, is that I just want to say that I really appreciate your guys' comments. Please leave some more. I'd love to hear what you guys think. Also, if there's any videos or any subjects you'd like me to cover, a lot of the stuff I'm doing right now is just beginner stuff. I really want to start off with that, but I will have more intermediate and advanced stuff coming out, okay? So, I'm Jeremy Haas. I'll see you guys on the flip side. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. That leaves it wide open. Yeah. See you guys.